Hi friends, it's Jess back with another Misfitmakers Besties tutorial. And this week we are doing the vinyl Milky Way Tumbler. First, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. That's the way to get notified. Also, while you're at it, check out our free Facebook group, Misfit Makers. And check out our mentorship group, Misfitmakers Besties, to take your business to the next level. All right, friends, so today we are doing this design that we are actually doing in person on our Crafting Era tour in Joplin, Missouri. So if you were there, you are finally getting to see the tutorial, or I guess everybody else is finally getting to see the tutorial. This was a really fun design and I had a lot of fun with it. It's just another way to use up all of that vinyl that you guys have lying around, and you don't have to like cut it up and waste it and only see half of it. Like, you could just use the entire sheet here and then just glitter on top. I don't know, it's something cool, neat, new, haven't really seen a lot of, so have fun with this design, guys. I'm going to start by cutting out, loosely measuring my vinyl around my tumbler, and then cutting out the pieces that we don't need. Again, this is loosely. I do want my vinyl to overlap just a little bit, so I don't cut off too much, and we'll trim that up at the end. I'm gonna then take my ruler and my Sharpie and draw a straight line down my tumbler. This is gonna make my job a lot easier when I go to apply my vinyl, and it's gonna ensure me that, hey, all you have to do is line your vinyl up with the line on the tumbler, okay? If you don't need to do this, or you don't need a visual, then you can skip this part. After you line it up straight, we're then going to turn our tumbler around, and I'm going to use the felt side of my squeegee to squeegee my vinyl on my tumbler, pressing firmly but not too hard. We don't want to tear our tumbler, but I do want to press down firmly to try to prevent any air pockets from forming underneath. If you do end up with a few air pockets, for whatever reason, this vinyl did give me a little trouble. I don't know if it was user error, or some vinyls, every once in a while, you get some air pockets. That's okay. But you can just use your pen or your tool to poke some holes and then rub out all of that air. Next, I'm going to use my ruler to apply my painter's tape on straight, and then a sharp X-Acto knife. What we're doing here is we're just trimming up that excess piece at the end, the overlap piece, I should say, so we don't have such a large piece overlapping. A little bit of overlap is okay, but I had about an inch and a half, and that was just a little too big. Okay, after we do that, we are going to fold in our vinyl at the top so I can clean that up with my X-Acto knife, and then we are also going to fold the vinyl down at the bottom. I ended up using my edging trimmer to trim up the bottom piece so I can expose some stainless steel down at the bottom. I personally like the way that looks. Now, on to glittering. These are all the glitter colors that we are using: Lassie, Bejeweled, Tinkerbell, and Ermagerd. These are all from Peachy Olive. We do have a discount code Peachy Olive if you would like to use it. Besties, you got that 15% off code. Don't forget, besties, your codes and the besties group are higher than the main group. Okay, so before we start glittering, I want to use some painter's tape to tape off that stainless steel at the bottom, because I do not want to get glitter on that section. Next, I'm going to take my UV resin. Yes, you heard that right. We are using UV resin for this step. And I am adding in just a little bit of additive, Sparkle-tastic from Glitter Craze, into my UV resin. We are going to apply a nice, thin, even coat all the way around. We don't want the UV resin pooling or dripping off our tumbler at this point. We just want a nice, even spread, like jelly on bread, friends, okay? After you get a nice even coat all the way around, don't be afraid to get it on your painter's tape either. Your painter's tape is there for protection, okay? That's what it's there for. We're going to go in with our first color. So the first color I started with was Tinkerbell, and just like if I were doing a normal Milky Way, I'm going in at a diagonal and I'm creating that base line. After I get that baseline on my tumbler, then I will hold my glitter jar up higher and kind of ombre sprinkle it out in both directions, so I get a nice ombre or a nice shift into the next color and not such a harsh line. I don't really worry about the harsh line so much when I'm doing a normal Milky Way, because we are going to put the milky part on top. With this design here, in my head, I wasn't planning on using a lot of, in quotations, milky, okay? So like the mica on top. So I wanted to take my time and really blend those colors in nicely because I didn't know if we're going to have that protection on top to hide any harsh lines. So just take your time with this. The great thing about using UV resin for this part is we're not in a hurry. You want to spend an hour blending your colors in, you go for it. Next color we're going to use is Bejeweled. And again, I'm creating that baseline first and then just blending it nicely into Tinkerbell. The next color after Bejeweled was my medium chunky glitter Lassie, which is a gorgeous pink, white, I don't know, it even has some purple hues in there. It is just a really, really pretty color. And then my final color is Irma Gerd, and I kind of just went woohoo with it all over the place, and it's a great blending color in case you do have any harsh lines. Irma Gerd is just a great holographic color to throw on anything. Throw it all over my body, my body. Okay, that's enough of me. After you get all of your glitter colors on your cup and you're happy with it, remove your painter's tape very carefully. Then we're going to stick it underneath our UV lamp so we can cure all of those colors. You will know when it's cured because your glitter is not going to shift, okay? If you're having problems, then A, you need a stronger light. If you're still having problems, take your cup outside in the natural sunlight so it can fully cure. I will link this light down below. This light is really good. You can find it on Amazon. Yes, it's a little pricey, but it works wonders. Okay, once your tumbler is completely cured, we are then going to go in with our coat of epoxy. I'm going to do a full coat of epoxy before going in with my micas. This is a great tip for regular Milky Ways as well. Do not do a coat of epoxy and then your mica's right on top of your raw glitter, because if for some reason you don't like the way your mica's, in quotations, your milky part turns out, you can wipe it off and fix it. But if you do it right over your raw glitter, there's no turning back. Okay, you're not gonna be like Cher, we can't turn back time. All right, so we're gonna do a coat of epoxy first. I'm going to use 40 mLs of my Facet from CC DIY. Once that is fully cured, after about 2.5 hours, then we're going to sand down our rims, clean our rims, sand down our tumbler, and then do another coat, and that's when we are going to apply our micas. Okay, we're getting there. I did forget to mention, I did cover my booty. So if you do have leftover vinyl, this is a great little just something extra you can do to your cups. It's very simple. You guys just watched me. I just applied some vinyl to the bottom of my cup and kind of dug my nail around the rim so you can see that indentation in the bottom of your tumbler. And then I used my X-Acto knife to kind of just place in that indentation and trim all the way around. I don't know, I love when the booties are done either with epoxy or with vinyl or with something. I just think it's the perfect touch. So, okay, look at that shine. Look at this tumbler underneath epoxy. I'm in love with it. I could have just left it just like this, but now we're going to add the mica. So like I said, we already have our first coat of epoxy on there. Our glitter is protected. Then we sanded it down. Now I'm going in with my second coat of epoxy. Once you have an even coat of epoxy on your tumbler, I mixed in a little bit of mica powder, gold mica powder, into my remaining epoxy, and I am just drizzling it on to our glitter section. I just wanted a little bit. I didn't want to overtake the tumbler. So if you want more, add more. Or if you want to skip this part, you can totally skip this part. But I love the way this turned out. I love just being able to see a little bit of the gold milky in it, but not too much. Like I said, I didn't want it to overpower my tumbler. Once this was fully cured, I stopped messing with it. I then sanded it down gently and went in with my final coat of medium viscosity, about 40 mLs. After that was fully done curing, about 8 to 10 hours, she was done. And I am obsessed. I love the way this tumbler turned out. I hope everybody that was in Joplin loved this design. I can't wait to see everybody's. Make sure you leave your comments down below. Voila!